Hey, hello guys. Hi. Thank you for joining me on again on the Saturday night here if you're in Asia. Okay, so today we're going to have Mitsuko joining us at the later part of this live stream. So I will just be starting with my part first, which is the code in shaders. So after a long while of procrastinating of learning how to code in shaders, I finally forced myself to do so that I have something to talk about in this live show. Hello, Lawrence. Hey, Kevin. Alright, so learning how coding in shaders is quite hard to get in, but after you know some of the syntax and ways to do it, I think you'll get more and more comfortable. So what better way to learn it with an example? So today I'm going to show you how you can do the effect that you are seeing right now, which is a water with distortion effect with a reflection. So you can definitely do it in Patch 2, and I'm sure someone already did it on YouTube. One of the YouTube that I saw before, you can probably find it in Inspire TV by Billy Ng. Yes, Kevin, coding in shader is like hell. Not, it's like reactive is hard enough, and code in shader is like, whoo. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this in the next half an hour or so. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so the code that I'm going to do today is actually the code that I got from this shader toy water distortion test code. So if I'm not wrong, the code is in OpenGL, but there are quite a number. We can just adapt it and use it in Inspire. Of course, not directly, because there are quite a lot of things that we can't use it directly. For example, we can't use an if else for shaders and UV. So that's something that we have to change and play around with Inspire before we can make it work. Okay, so this is the code that we are going to use. And I'm just going to copy it first so that I can see it in the script VS Code and reference it. Okay, so this is the ready code. I'm just going to create a new code and edit it. Alright, so just clear everything first. Okay, so before I started, I actually already imported 3 noise texture which we will be using to create a distortion. And of course, we also need to just create a rectangle and fill out the whole screen with it and create a material that make it flat. Yeah. So now all the cells are ready and we can go to the code. So let me just paste the code that I copied just now. So obviously we are not going to use this. This is just going to use it as reference. And let's start with some setup. Oh yeah, right. Because I'm going to use PF Twin made by Bofu from last week. I'm also going to import it from the PF Twin into the project. Yeah, where's my, okay. PF Twin, okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so the first step is to import. I like to import the PF Twin inside first. Anyway, I hope today's stream will be clearer. So if it's not clear, just do let me know. Yeah. Okay, let me continue. So I'm streaming all of this without any paying for any services at all. So forgive me if it's not, some of the time it's not clear. I'm trying to learn how to do the best streaming actually. Okay. Okay, now important. So now I'll just load some of the modules that we need to use. So first, we need the shader modules, which probably most of the people, constant shaders, which you will need for the coding shaders. Alright. And also we need to get materials in, so we need a material. I call it M. Save my typing time. Right, materials. And okay, we need the reactive. Oh, okay. Let me zoom in. I hope this is big enough. Okay. And we need texture. Okay, texture. Okay. And then we need to find the object. First we promise. Oh, I hate this. Okay, so let's find the material. And find first. So the material I have is just material 0. So yeah. So it's a comma, okay. And texture will be so I need to create camera texture. Okay. Texture 0. Somehow when you're doing streaming and typing codes, you will get a lot more typo error. It's a weird thing. And I'm just going to use this Whirly is one of the noise that I found online. So it's a Whirly noise distortion. You can use any noise that you find online, basically, and see how it looks like in the end. Alright. Then, because it's a promise, okay. So now we can assign a material to the from the promise we found. So material is equals to the first object that we found, which is material, and like camera texture into will be res1. Oops. And let noise equals to okay. Alright, so next finally we can go to the new things. Well, you can add a comma here, but actually that's not necessary because you don't have a next thing that you want to find. Only when you have more things you want to find, then you need to add a comma. If not, you can just end it here because this is essentially like a list. So the end of the list you don't need a comma. Alright, so finally we move on to the new thing, which is to get the UV. So if you are familiar with text editor, coding and shader in text editor, I mean, if you want to get a UV of the texture, you can get it from vertex attribute and go to texture coordinate. So texture coordinate basically is the UV of the texture that you're going to use. So in code, for code wise, it's a little bit more complicated. We need to get the UV by accessing the shader modules, shaders dot vertex attribute. Did I spell correctly? Oh, this is capital S. Okay. Vertex. No wonder. Okay. Yeah. So if you are not using VS Code, I recommend you to do so because the autocomplete option function is really cool, very helpful. Okay, next, variable name. So I actually learned how to code the shader for this UV part from Hi. Here he recently posted a YouTube tutorial on coding shader, so you should definitely check it out. I'm sure he'll come out with more cool stuff in the future soon. Okay, so for the variable name, you need to make sure that you use variable names. So you can't change the variable name, okay? And in access shader again, and vertex attribute. So it's very funny for this part, the second shader that vertex attribute is actually a different vertex attribute that you used previously. So you're accessing actually a different class. So for this one, just remember that the V needs to be capital, and the one in the front, the V has to be small letter. Yeah, it's confusing. Okay. Dot, and finally text underscore coordinates. Yeah. So as the name suggests, you're accessing the textual coordinate just like how you access it in patch editor. Alright. Okay. Next, if you look at the code from Shader Toy, so this part, if you have been using Shader Toy quite often, you realize you see this code quite often. So this basically just means textual coordinates. Yeah, so they account for resolution for XY, but for us, if you are using rectangle, you don't really need to do so, and because we are also using camera texture, so it already accounts for all the resolution. If you are using other texture, I think then you might need to account for the screen size. Yeah, so for this, this whole line actually just means texture coordinates. Yeah, so it actually created two dummy variables that was assigned to the same thing, which is the UV. So let's do that too. Let p underscore m UV. Oh yeah, maybe I should give you the link to the shader toy. Okay. So you can take a look if you want. Let p UV as well. Right. Okay. So if you look at the next part of the code for shader toy, they have this if-else operation over here. So in OpenGL, apparently you can just do comparison of UV with if and else. How I wish we can do that in Inspire, but unfortunately we can't. So basically what these three lines of code for if else is to do, is actually doing the reflection of the texture. So from what you see, this 1 minus p underscore m dot y basically just says that if the UV is below 0.5 in y, it will reflect it in the y axis and not the x axis. Yeah. So because we can't really do that in Inspire, or at least I haven't figured out how, I'm just going to use SDF in code to do that. Right. So the code SDF, it's actually more or less the same as when you're using patch, but perhaps it's harder to visualize in code. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to draw a line, SDF line equals to. So once again, all the SDF are in the shader modules. So SDF line. Yeah, so if you use autocomplete, you can see that it will help you to find out the one you want. So first is the offset, and make it 0.5. Second is the normal. Normal is the 2D signal, so we need to do r.pack2 and So all these values, I actually get it by try and error. So there's no right or wrong value. You can definitely play around with it and see which value suits best for you. Is there anything wrong here? It should be fine. Sometimes the error just doesn't make sense and it doesn't matter. Yeah, if I check my code previously, yeah, it's the same. Okay. Okay, so next I need to translate my SDF line. Shaders.sdf translate. Okay, so translate basically means moving the SDF line. Dot to. Okay, just let me set it up and I'll explain more about this SDF just in case it's confusing for someone. Oops, okay. So I don't need another let here, okay. Alright, so if you go to patch editor and you find SDF line, you can basically see the same thing. So offset is this normal and followed by half width. So if you go to SDF translate, yeah, same thing. So the first one is line, which is the SDF, and second will be the coordinates that you want to translate, which is a 2D point signal. Yeah. Okay. Now we can so basically I'm trying to create a step which I can use in mix later. So I'm using SDF to create the split screen, which is essentially the same as the if else here, if p_m dot y is more than 0.5. Yeah. Alright, so now I need to create a step which is the same as the step patch in patch editor. Alright, so let's step equals to r dot. So I need a smooth step actually, so that I can have a smooth transition between the reflections and the original. So the SDF is going to be the step, and the minimum and maximum will be this. Alright. So maybe it doesn't make sense for you right now, but later when I complete all the rest of the code, I can change some of the SDF variables and let you see what it actually all means. Okay. So on the OpenGL code, the shader toy code, it does this p_m dot y equals to 1. Basically, it subtracts itself from 1 for the UV coordinates. So what we need to do is we're going to subtract 1 from the so we're going to subtract 1 from the UV. Okay. So use p_m, and I'm going to use mix here, which is the same as the if else. So what I'm going to do is okay, just let me type first, then I explain. Okay. Okay, what this actually do is if you look at in patch, I'm using the mix patch, and the first one will be the 1 minus p_m. So in reactive coding, you can't use 1 minus p_m directly. You need to use r dot sub. Sub is equal to subtract. So you subtract the first number with the second number. Okay. So the first input is this r dot sub 1 minus p_m, and the second input is the p_m, which is the original UV that's unchanged, and the step will be the SDF that I made just now. So essentially, this line of code is equals to did about half of this. So the next half of it is actually to, because if you see from the code, it only changes the y. So UV is also, you can think of it as equals to xy coordinates of the texture. So y will be b. So it only changes the y. So, but over here I'm minusing the whole UV. So I need to make sure that I keep back the original x and also keep the change y. Alright, so p underscore m equals to r dot pack 2. So I access the original uv dot x. So the x will be the original unchanged, and the y will be dot y will be the change y. Yeah, so in this way you will be able to see the reflection later. And if you didn't use the original x, the uv dot x, and you use p underscore m dot y dot x, I mean, the x will also be reflected. So when you turn left, the texture will turn right. So you don't want that, because the real life reflection, it doesn't happen that way. Yeah. Okay. So next, if you are familiar with composition or actually texture sampler, what I'm going to do next is to just access the camera texture and use the original UV. So let me just type it first. So composition is similar as texture sampler, but composition, when you use it, it actually composes out a texture. If you use texture sampler, it will sample out a color. So if it's a color, you can't do any further texture manipulation because it's a color and not a texture anymore. So actually Josh has a very good tutorial on YouTube on his channel that explains this quite well, so you should definitely take a look. And composition is a very essential part of shader coding, whether in patch editor or in code. Alright. Okay, so let's go back to the OpenGL code. Or maybe I should look at the comment a little while. Alright, okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna go faster so that Mitsuko can come up. Hurry. Okay, so camera texture. Okay, so if you look at the OpenGL code, it actually uses this itime. So itime is something like runtime. So I'm sure most of people are familiar with patch editor. Runtime is essentially the time since you launch the filter. But actually, I'm not going to use runtime for this because I feel that we have lesser control. Runtime is just going to keep running and running forever, and the value is just going to keep increasing. And in SparkAR for the UV coordinates, it's better to keep the value within 0 to 1. Yeah, so I'm going to use pftwin to simulate the runtime instead. So I'm going to put starting 0 and end with 5. 1000 milliseconds, which just means 1 second. Yeah. So 0 to 5, you will understand why later. So it can be any number actually. So set is. So if you want to know more about pftwin, you should actually watch last week's video introduced by Bofu from Taiwan. So I'm going to set it to loop so that it runs forever, and scalar. So this will be the scalar value. Okay. So next, in the OpenGL code, it actually has a speed variables to control the speed of the distortion. So same thing, that speed equals to 0.1. So we are also going to have a magnitude, so to control the magnitude of the distortion. Yeah, so if you look at the speed 0.1 multiplied by 5, it will be 0.5. Yeah, so it's still within 0 to 1 in the UV coordinates. Okay, so the next in the OpenGL code, it actually does this. So it takes the second dummy variable, dot t is, if you see dot t in OpenGL, it actually just means dot y. So it's just another name of uv and xy. So st equals to uv equals to xy. Alright, so this multiply, so we're going to multiply the runtime by the speed. So let runtime equals to r dot. Yeah, so in reactive, you have to do everything, every operation, subtraction, multiplication using this method. But if it's, so yeah, okay, runtime and p underscore d two. Yeah, so if you look back into the code, this essentially is the p underscore d dot t minus the I time multiplied by speed equals to the new p underscore dot t. Yeah. So if you're unfamiliar with code, this is a shorthand way to say that it minus by itself. Yeah. So this is what we actually done here. So p underscore d minus by the runtime in the y only. So there's no subtraction in x, which is the same as what the code below shows. Only dot t is minus off and not dot s. Yeah. So just in case you missed out what I say, in OpenGL or WebGL, if you see st, it's actually equals to uv and equals to xy in the texture coordinates. Okay, next we need to, so this is essentially what we are doing here is manipulating the uv with the runtime. So now we are going to get the noise texture that we found just now and use the manipulated UV into the noise so that the noise can create the water distortion effect that we want. Alright. So magnitude is a variable we use to control how much it wobbles or distorts in the distortion. So later you'll see how it actually changes the effect. So right now, because I haven't completed the effect, so can't really visualize it for you. So later you'll see. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to use the same variable used in the OpenGL. Yeah, so if you see OpenGL texture function actually just means texture sampler. So in our case, we are going to use composition, so they are the same. So again, shaders dot composition so this time we're going to get noise dot signal. Yeah, so remember, if you are accessing any texture that you get from Spire, you need to put a dot signal at the back before you can use the texture itself. So this UV is going to be p underscore d. Yeah. So the visualizing in patch editor. Oops, sorry. Composition. Okay. Alright, so composition. So essentially this is the same as this, but of course our texture coordinate is a manipulated one with the runtime, but this is what is actually happening in the composition, just to visualize it for you guys. Okay, so next we need to swizzle up the XY of the composition. So if you do it in patch, it's very easy. It's just going to be like this, XY. So basically you use the texture of this and make it into UV coordinates. Yeah, but for coding wise, this is actually the hardest part and the longest time that I spent figuring out how to do this code, to do Swizzle in patch in script. Alright. So I wish they can make it so easy as like OpenGL. You can just use .s for it, but sadly no. So I would say this is probably the biggest part of the biggest secret of this live stream. To know how to do Swizzle in scripting. Okay, copy paste. Yeah, so if you look at this, I got the text. This is the texture that we created just now. So I got .x and .y. So I packed the .x and .y together into a 2D point signal and make it into this DST, distortion offset. So essentially this is the same as swizzling. So this is how you do swizzle in scripting. And it took me very long to figure this out. I wonder why. Okay, so next. Okay, so next is a few steps of UV manipulation. Yeah, as you see from here, from the one that I highlighted. Yeah. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 4 lines of code. So it's essentially manipulating a UV to control the magnitude of the distortion. So we're going to use the magnitude that I created just now, and also the speed of the distortion. No, not the speed. It's essentially the magnitude. And at the very end, we are going to add back the original UV, so that the UV works. So the UV will show the noise texture as what you want. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat it in Spire style. Okay, so UV manipulation. So by the way, don't worry that you can't see the code or if you can't catch up. I have actually uploaded this on GitHub. So I'm going to share the link later with you guys, and you can just take a look yourself. Yeah, so subtract. So this is essentially subtracting this by 0.5. And the next is, I'm just going to copy, equals to dot mul. So it's going to multiply itself with magnitude. So this is where we use the magnitude. So the higher the magnitude, the more distorted it will get. So later you'll see. So again, multiply by itself. Okay. So actually you don't really need to do pack 2 here. You can also just use just put 0.5 and 0.1 because you will just take it that you multiply both x and y with the same value. But if you want more control, like for example, you want y to be more distorted, then you can use the tag tool to do it. And finally, we add back to the p_m. Yeah, so remember p_m is what we manipulated here. So it's the reflection of the texture that we're going to need in just the y axis. So we're going to add back to the offset so that the reflection has the distortion that we want. Finally, we're going to distort the camera texture. So we're going to create a new variable, distort texture, and we use composition again. So this one will be the camera texture. And the UV will be the offset. Okay. And finally, because if you just use this directly, you will just have an empty texture up on the top, and you only see the reflection. So you need to mix it with the original camera texture for the top part of the screen. So we're going to mix it up with the original texture. And we use the step that we created just now with the SDF. Yeah, finally we come to the last few steps. So now that we have prepared all the texture, we just need to assign it to the material. But if you are familiar with material in Spire, there are different materials, like for example, there are diffuse, there's environment, there's alpha. So we need to put the texture in the right texture slot. So we need to find the right texture slot first. So this is also where I learned it from So High. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. Yeah. Material texture. Diffuse. So this just means that we are accessing the material diffuse slot. Yeah, so if you are using standard material, standard type, and it's a 3D model, you might also want to access the normal slot and also the emissive slot to create different looks for a 3D model. So this is where you can change it. And finally, we access the material set texture slot. Yes, spell correctly. Okay. And we put the texture slot followed by our final texture. So if all is well, this should work. Yeah, so I'm gonna save it. Oops, what's this? Oh, okay, I forgot to take off the OpenGL code below. Of course, it's gonna give me error. Okay. Cannot find PF twin. Okay. Need to. Did I miss out anything? How about that now? What's wrong? Well, maybe I think there's some small error that I didn't realize. So anyway, since I already prepared a ready code for you, I'm just going to use that to save time. Please trust me that it works because I have a ready file that works. Okay, so I'm just gonna open the ready file. So since it's not working, I'm just gonna save it anyway. Sorry. Okay, so it will take a while to load. So I don't know why sometimes if I'm using script, it actually takes a while to load the script and run the script. So if anybody knows why, do let me know. Oh, I opened the wrong one. Okay, it should be this. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna. Alright, so this is the same code that I did just now. So just to show what's the difference if you change the magnitude. So now the magnitude is 2. If I give it to the extreme, make it 10. See, so now you see the distortion is a lot more, and probably that's not what you want for water distortion. Yeah. So I find that 2 is quite good, but you can just change to whichever value that you want. Yeah, so if you want this faster, you can actually change this speed. Let's make it 5. So it's going so fast that you can't really tell anything. So you can also change the speed, how fast it distort using by changing the animation time of the PF twin. So if I want 2 times faster, yeah, so it wobbles faster now. Okay, now let us look back at the SDF. So let's say I want to move the SDF, make it 0.1 so we can see it clear. So 0.1 is actually moving the texture up. Yeah. So if you want to move it down, just now was 0.4. So move it down, we just increase the value. Let's make it 0.6. So essentially, if you can visualize, the reflection is just one SDF line, horizontal SDF line. So you can, now I'm just using SDF line to position the reflection. So somehow 0.4 is in the middle, somehow in the middle of it. Yeah, so you can play around and find the best position for you. Yeah. And yeah, smooth stack, you can change it to change the intersection between. So yeah, if it's bigger, you will have a wider interpolation with the original UV. Yeah, so I think 0.01 is good to see to have the line between the original texture and also the water texture. Yeah, so if you change different noise, now I'm using Wally. If I change to this noise is actually a Perlin noise that I got from the Josh Perlin noise tutorial. So you can see there's not much of a difference, a little bit of difference. Yeah. Yeah, but I find Wally works quite well, so I'm using it. Yeah, and you can use any other noise texture that you can find online.
One of the questions, can we sign this distortion like a sine wave?
Distortion like a sine wave. Yeah, you can. Definitely. But I have to figure out how. But that is definitely possible. You can I've actually done up sine wave distortion before on patch, but not in script yet. So we need to spend some time to figure out. But you can also Google and find the code and challenge yourself to make it in patch or code. Yeah. So actually, my newest hobby is to translate code for Shader Toy into Spiral. Yeah. Okay, so finally my part is done. So if you have any question, let me know. So just let me see if there's any question. I think no more. So I can finally invite Mitsuko. to our live stream. Yeah, so Mitsuko, if you are looking at it, I'm going to set up the Zoom so that you can start. Yeah, just give me a while. Hey, Mitsuko, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, hello. Okay, give me a while. I'm going to share it with so that everybody can see you.
Okay.
How are you? Are you fine? Everything's fine in Philippines?
What should I do? Should I click share screen or what?
Yeah, you can share screen or you can show your face. Up to you.
Where what should I
All right. Yeah.
Oh wait, oh there.
So so whatever you do now, they can see it. So be careful.
And what should I do?
All right. So you can share a screen to show what you want to share today, or you can just open up your webcam so we can see you. Yeah, I think everybody wants to see you.
What's that?
Yeah. Can. Oh, okay. Wait, give me a moment. I need to change it.
Share screen. Can you see my screen now?
Wait a while. Wait a while.
But it's disabled.
Oh, yeah. I see your cat now.
Oh, so you can see me?
Yeah.
But I can only see Yan's picture.
Yeah, because I'm using her account.
Oh, so can I start now?
Yeah, you can start. You can start anytime if your cat allows.
Wait, why can't I see myself? Oh, there! Oh, there's me. Really? But it's okay.
Yeah, you can share your screen by if you at the bottom of the Zoom, there's a share screen. Any problem with sharing your screen or?
Okay. So, am I live now?
Yeah, you're live.
Okay. I can't hear you. So hi everyone. I know what you're gonna say. Oh my god, she got so sad. So anyway, Boo's tutorial was so complicated. So now I'm gonna give you an easy tutorial. So
Mitsuko, can you speak louder?
okay. Can't you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So there. What's that? I can hear a delayed. Okay, I'm just gonna close my Facebook for now. So okay. So for tonight, I'm gonna teach you how to animate the bones in Sparkle or like in my effects. I maybe most of you already know how to, but I don't know what else to teach you. So yes, so here I don't know if you can see. Can you see my screen? It's a little slow because it's dark already, but okay. I'm just gonna use.
Still can't see your screen yet.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I already. But you. It says host disabled attendee screen share.
Oops, sorry. That's my fault. How do I change it? Mm, oh, okay, found it. You should be able to share now. Can you try again?
Oh, there. Okay. So I'm gonna share this one.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, you can see. Okay. So, um,
Try to zoom in more to your patch editor later. Like, yeah, based on
okay,
last
yeah,
week experience, they can't really see if you don't zoom in. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So first, I have this 3D model that I made in Cinema 4D. It's my umbilical cord. So I'm just gonna drag it on the scene. Oh, wait. So it's still. um, oh, I cannot see. Oh, there. So I'm just gonna put the material I made, and then it's too big, and so I'll just rotate it.
Do you use Cinema 4D? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So there, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Cool
umbilical
umbilical
cord.
cord. Cool cord.
Anyway, it's there. So, but if you zoom in, you can see the bones, right?
Do you have to
And
look at
then
the real cord photo to to model this?
so it's really easy. It's just like a cylinder, and then use a deformer, use a noise deformer to make it look like this. Anyway, you can do it with any kind of model that has bones. So
Mm.
first, well, some people were asking me like, how do I make it move with the head? So
Mm.
that's what I'm going to teach tonight. Sorry if it's a little easy because I'm really not an expert.
No, it's not.
Anyway, first, of course, we have to get the face tracker thing. I don't even know what's called. You just get this create and then producer patch. That's it. So it's this one. So okay, let's just make it again. Create and then producer patch. So it's that one, right? And then you have to go to the 3D rotation.
Can you zoom in the patch
Oh
editor?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's the 3D rotation. So after that, you just have to connect and unpack to it. So just search unpack and you know how to do it. So anyway, so 3D rotation, unpack, and then just connect some exponential smoothing to make it smooth and not so I don't know so stiff. And then get a pack. You see, and then, but of course you're gonna think like what am I gonna do? Why is it like different? Why is Y not connected to Y? Why is
Yeah.
X? Well, you can edit that. So firstly, X is this rotation. Wait, I'm gonna check my notebook. X is up and down of your head. Y is this, and then Z is this. So after that, you connect it to range. Well, that's what I do because if you put like transition, it won't work, I think. Anyway, so go back to your 3D model and then open up your skeleton. So let's just expand all, and then so you can see it has so many joints, right? So maybe let's just go to the fifth joint, and then let's get the rotation. And then I already put some items here, so maybe let's just remove it for a bit. So for example, let's disconnect this one. So let's see what X will do if it's connected to X also. So for now it does nothing, right? But if you put something here like 5 and then move your head, there something happens. But you have to be careful because if you put such a big number, it moves really really, it has like a big movement, so you have to put something like maybe just one. The computer is so slow. Anyway, if you want to move it the other way, just put -1, and then, so let's see what y will do to y. Let's remove this first. Y is this one.
Mm.
So it's not right.
It's like a clock.
It's not, yeah, yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't match the movement of your head. So I like to do is put it in Z. So let's remove that again, and then let's put 5 here. So if you twist your head, the joint also twists with
Mm.
you. So let's put Z in Y because that matches the movement. So if we do this, oh yeah, that's better, right? So it matches that. So it's only that. It's so simple. But um the part that makes it look better is if you get, like, for example, I get more bones here. I get the rotation of more bones. It's just really a little troublesome to do, but this is what makes it look amazing. So just copy paste 3 more, and then maybe let's just put around 1 for each.
It's interesting that you're using the to range patch, because usually if
Oh really?
I'm doing it, I will just connect it directly. But yeah, it works as long as it works. I don't think there's any right or wrong.
Oh, so there, can you see? So it's doing something, right? And then what I do is I put a delay. Let me, for example, there are 3 more, right? So I make 3 more delays, and then I just put like 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3, and then I just put it before the to range. And then it flows smoother, I think.
Mm.
And then, well, that's part 1. So you see, it's so easy. And then part 2 is, what if, for example, you wanted to move with your head, but you also want it to react when you smile or when you open your mouth. So how would you do that? Because there are only you can only get the rotation one time, right?
Yep.
So for example, you want it to react to when you open your mouth. So I prepared something. Let's just make it smaller first. So what you do is you get that mouth open patch, and then you connect it to a pulse, and then of course animation, and then transition, and then whatever you want it to do. For example, this one. Let's disconnect it first, and then let's put it down here. For example,
Nice.
so let's just connect with this. Oh shit. Oh, it's just 0, 0. Okay. Plus, maybe let's put 20, and we are okay. Oh, stop. Let's just change everything to 20, because I don't really know what to do with this now. So let's just connect. So
Mm.
why is my computer this slow? It's not reacting. Wait, let me explain.
Oh yeah, it
There it
works.
works now. And because it works. Let's just make this faster because it's so slow. Yeah, there. But the movement's gone. It doesn't move with your head. So what you do is just, where is it? Just put an if then else patch. But if you search it, first it comes up like this. So you just have to change it to vector 3. And then now first disconnect this one. Disconnect everything. And then you have to put the condition mouth open in here. So if the mouth opens, then do this. So put it here. Oh shit. You have to you have to copy everything. And then just connect it to this. And then if you're wondering what to connect with else, of course it's this one. So wait, let me make it smaller first. Let's move this one and then let's put it here. And then let's just connect it to the else. So now there you have it. It moves with my head, but when I open my mouth, it does that.
Yay!
Yay, finished! It's
Why are you so happy about finishing?
Nothing. Anyway, I hope you learned something. I know everyone knows this already, but
No, I'm sure that there are people that
I
doesn't
don't know how to code or do any other cool stuff. So yeah.
So are you going to plan to learn how to code since now that your husband know how to code, or you just gonna make him code for you?
I don't know yet. I have a lot to do. So wait, my face is paused there. Anyway, how do you come back?
Sorry?
Stop share. There.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, everyone. I hope you learned something from me. I'm so sorry it's so simple.
No, it's not. It's helpful.
So,
But I'm sure maybe some of them have some questions for you.
oh yeah, if you have some questions. Wait, I'll go back to that page.
Yeah, so
there, yeah.
Lawrence asked if you can show your
Can you
C4D drawings.
C4D drawings?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean in Cinema 4D?
Maybe in Spark? I don't know.
Huh? Okay, so let me just share my screen again. This one. So I'm just gonna zoom in on my joints. It's just that. So
Do you usually have problems when you export bones out from C4D?
Come again?
Do you usually have any problems like when you export the bones from C4D to Spark?
Oh yeah. Sometimes if you have too many polygons, it will break when you try to animate it, especially when you have the animation already in Cinema 4D and you try to bring that animation inside Spark. If if the weight is not correct, it will break. So you have to make sure that your model is perfectly perpetuated. I don't know. I'm not an expert. If I come into if I experience that problem, I just try to rig the model again until I get it right.
Yes.
So there.
Yeah, actually sometimes when I try to export bones like from C4D to SpiderR, you will have an extra null object created at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you have this too? Or
Also, if in Cinema 4D when you rig your 3D models, you have to like remove the null object because sometimes it's the root of the error. So you have to be careful to not to bring the null objects with you in Spark. So just delete them. So when you do that, it's okay. In my experience, it's okay.
Before you do SpiderR, do you already know how to do modeling, or you started modeling because of SpiderR?
Yeah. Before I learned Spark, I already know how to make some stuff in Cinema 4D, but it was a long time ago, so I had to practice Cinema 4D again because I already forgot like some of the things that I knew how to do back then.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, any more questions? I don't think so because they already know what I showed them.
How about like where do you find your inspiration usually? Like, do you watch some show or you go follow someone on Instagram to find inspiration?
Well, for inspiration, yeah, I follow some artists that I like. Maybe my number one inspiration would be like Shintaro Kabo, if you've ever heard of him. He has like weird art, and then I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's John Cornelia. I also like him, and some inspiration I just randomly think about, and then some I don't know. We just have weird asshole friends as well. So sometimes
What?
I get inspiration from them. So
I hope they are watching this too.
because some of my friends like send me weird pictures, so sometimes I get inspiration from all the weird things that I've seen. So sometimes I like to watch also weird movies. So yeah, I get inspiration from that as well.
You have cool friends. You have cool friends.
No.
What?
Like
Oh my god. You should share this and let them know.
yeah, I don't know if she's watching right now, but she wants me to remember something funny, so I'd laugh all the time. Are you here, Ruby? I don't think so. Anyway, maybe she fell asleep.
Well, many people are actually watching this stream, like Nolan, Omi.
Oh,
Yeah, they're all here.
oh,
Yeah.
hi, Ollie. Hi, Angel. Anyway, I'm not really an expert, so I can't share much. So I just have weird ideas, as you know.
Well, I wish I have your great ideas.
Anyway, what else? What else do you want to know? Do you want to ask something?
Anybody has any more questions? You don't get to talk to Mitsuko, in normal circumstances. Yeah. Everybody say they love you. See?
Yay, thank you. Anyway, that's it. Who's Cronenberg?
Yeah, who is that?
I've heard of David Lynch, but I don't follow him so much. I don't follow his work so much. But yeah, I'll check it out. And then
do you still have to stay at home? I mean, in Philippines right now, can you go out already? Or
I don't want to go out so much. I just go out to buy like the essentials, some foods and groceries. But for now I'm just stuck at home. Yeah.
oh, Omi has a question. What kind of music do you listen to when you work?
Oh, recently I've been listening to a lot of Yoshi Horikawa. So he's on Spotify if you want to. I'll comment his name.
Yeah.
Yoshi Horikawa. I listen to him a lot because his music makes me relaxed.
Maybe you can share the artist that you said just now on your Instagram.
Oh, he has his the yeah. Shin Kawakago and who else? John Cornelia. Who else? I don't know.
I think that's enough. That's
I
cool.
don't. Yeah, I forgot. What else? I'm sorry, I can't. I can't share anything useful.
No, your white share is very useful. Come on.
And I'm gonna cover my face because I'm fat.
You're not. But I know you like to share fat cat posts on Facebook.
Oh yeah. And I like chunky cats. The chunkier, the better.
But then why isn't your cat fat, like that fat?
I don't know. I give him. We give him lot. We give her lots of food, but she doesn't eat us so much. So my dream is to have a super fat obese cat that cannot walk anymore.
Oh my god.
What's
Should I
your
feel happy
favorite
for your
sport
cat?
feature?
Yeah.
What's my favorite sport feature? I don't know. How about you, Boone? What's your favorite sport
Whoa.
feature?
Nice one. Asking me back. Hey. Well, I like this. I like. Yeah, that's a hard question. What do I like best? Well, I like Swizzle Patch. That's why the show name is called Swizzle Hack.
What's a Caesar knock?
Swizzle, you know the patch? Swizzle?
Caesar.
Yeah, Swizzle, yeah.
So yeah. What do I like? I don't know. Maybe I like SDFs also,
Oh,
but whenever I do something with SDF and on my filter, it doesn't do so well. So I don't do filters with SDF so much. Oh, that's also one tip that I can give everyone is the simpler the filter, I think the better it does. For example, my filters that are super simple and just funny are doing well, while when I try to make like filters that are more difficult than my average filter, it doesn't do so well. So I I just stick with like funny filters.
yeah. That's a good tip for anyone who wants to be as popular as you.
No, especially the one of my latest filter, the game I made. Yeah, it's a little difficult to understand and like how to use it, what are the rules, because you can't also put so much instruction on it. At first I placed a lot of instructions on it and it got rejected so many times, like 3 times I think. And then when I removed all the instructions, it passed. But now no one knows how to use it.
Oh yeah, I hate the instruction part. That it's so
Yeah.
limiting.
Yeah. So you can oh also you can make a game without coding. I totally made that without coding, so I just used a lot of and ors.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you're making game filter. Yeah, it's trying out new stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
Omi
it's
has a
hard.
question. Omi has a question for both of us. What's our favorite filters that we have made?
My favorite right now is the one where you eat yourself. I don't know. Uh, Um, I'll check what's the name. It's Yummy Yummy. Yeah, that's my favorite one now. How about you, Boo? What's your favorite of all your filters?
Well, my favorite one, the one that's used the least, it's actually a filter that's I made for the game called Death Stranding.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the first filter that I actually use a lot of shaders and where I started coding, like making shaders in patches.
So basically, do you get company clients that want to yourself to do anything? Yeah, actually, I get a lot of, well, not super many, but I get some messages like how much for a filter, and then after they know the price, they will just ghost me.
I know, right?
Yeah. Mm, we can use stories to do tutorials, but I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy to do tutorials because I wake up at like 5 a.m. and then like I cook breakfast and then I work and then I cook lunch and then I work and then I cook dinner and then um I take a bath and I'm so tired and I have to watch my anime and then I fall asleep, so I don't have time to make tutorials.
Did you say anime?
Yeah.
What
Oh
anime?
yeah.
What anime are you watching?
For now I'm just watching Haikyuu, but yeah, I love anime as well. I get some inspiration from anime too. So yeah, and they have the best stories. You might think that it's for kids, but it's
No,
not.
no, it's not.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
And you can't say you're lazy when you wake up at 5 a.m. I can't wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just my body clock, I guess. I want to wake up at like 8 or 9, but no, I have to wake up at 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. And then what else?
Any more questions? If not,
Yeah,
I think
yeah. If
yeah.
not, I'm gonna watch my anime.
Yeah, she wants to go watch her anime. Come on, guys. Any more questions to stop her from watching? But anyway, yeah, I understand that. I'm also quite lazy to make tutorials, and that's why I
Yeah.
make this live show instead of making videos. I don't really like editing videos.
Yeah, and maybe if I make a tutorial, someone will comment, I know that already, so I'll just be sad.
Oh, your anime list. Hongwei wants to know your anime. What's your
Oh,
anime
I have
list?
so many. Wait, there's this anime that I really love. Asobi Asobase. I'm gonna write it down. It's the best I've
What?
watched
Okay.
recently. Asobi Asobase. Please watch it. It's so funny. It's about like three high school girls who were just like assholes. So at first you wouldn't know that is this show funny? Why is the intro so girly? But when you see the outro song, it's yeah, I like it. So you should watch it.
I'm gonna watch it later.
Hey TJ, so you should invite TJ next to
Yeah,
share
definitely.
tutorial stuff as well.
But
Hey
next, I
Angel,
already have
you
my
see?
next week guest. So TJ, you have to wait. I'm sorry. Next week will be Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Is it? Am I saying it right? Hello.
Hello, what? Yeah, Kevin.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think he's here
Yeah.
too. Yeah, so I think he's watching too.
Anyway, sorry again, guys.
No, thank you so much, for sharing your stuff with us and agreeing to come to my show.
Anyway, my asshole friends are now watching and then sending me funny messages, so I will laugh. I'm gonna mute you for a while. Oh shit. Anyway, so if oh, it's Kevin. I thought Kevin. Okay. Wow, Kevin. Thank you, Omni. Thank you, Dario. Thank you, Kingsley.
Yeah,
Anyway,
thanks everyone. So I think we
thanks
can
everyone.
end off
Watch.
here. Yeah.
Thank you, Chung Chi. Oh yes. I'm gonna say bye now.
Okay. Thank you, Mitsuko.
Thank you. How do I close this?
I can close it.
Okay.
I end off for you, right? Alright. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, so thanks everyone for watching. So bye bye. Have a good night if you are in Asia, and have a good day if you are in the rest of the part of the world. Okay. And next week will be Kevin joining us, so stay tuned to watch our show next week at the same time and on the Saturday. Yeah. Bye bye.